Good evening. Good evening and welcome. Welcome to this Solstice Service here at All Souls Unitarian Universalist Congregation, coming to you from New London, Connecticut, where we know our reach is far and wide. My name is Reverend Carolyn Paterno, and I am here in Unity Hall with a few souls joining to bring this service to you this evening. As you well know now, we made the decision this past week to return to online services as a result of increasing COVID infections in our area, and indeed everywhere, sadly, tragically. And so we pivot yet again in a 2-year endeavor that the word pivot has become all too familiar to all of us. We worship here on the land of the Nahantic and the Mohegan people, and we honor them and those who have come after and still live and worship and teach. We are grateful to be gathered up in this way. We give thanks for the technology that makes it possible. We gathered tonight on this 4th Sunday of Advent, and Platt Arnold will light all 4 candles on this evening. That's the peace candle, the Advent candle. Yep. Thank you, Platt. And we'll begin as we began the solstice service that we had all come to love. The service that Suzanne Wingrove Hoagland lovingly created and directed over the course of 10 years. We will begin by calling the quarters. So from home, those of you in the online pews, just look to the directions that we call and speak the words with me as we do. Welcome, spirits of the East, spirit of air. You fill our lungs and give us breath. Welcome, East and air. We honor you because we come from you. Welcome, East and air. Welcome, spirits of the South, spirit of fire. You sparked the first thought that burst into life. When the fire of our consciousness first said, I am, you lit our whole world on fire. Welcome, South and fire. We honor you because we come from you. Welcome, South and fire. Welcome, spirits of the West, spirit of water. To the West whirl the waters we were born in. Our senses first tasted life on earth in the ocean, bathed and growing for eons in our watery womb. Welcome, West and water. We honor you because we come from you. Welcome, West and water. Welcome, spirits of the North, spirit of earth. To the north lies the solid earth where we pulled ourselves up from Mother Ocean to Mother Earth. From you we grew food, reached out in community, and walked farther into our possibilities. Welcome, North and Earth. We honor you because we come from you. Welcome, North and Earth. Which brings us to the final direction, center, right here. Center is the direction of spirit, where above meets below. Our 4 directions signal where we have been, what we have been. Center is where we are right now, and center leads us where we are going. Welcome, center and spirit. Welcome, center and spirit. Stand before it, There is no beginning. Follow it, and there is no end. Our opening song is Round and Round, and Sue Frankowitz and Nick Evento will lead us. Sing Out from Home. Sue and Nick.
Round and round the earth is turning, turning always round till morning, and from morning round till night. Round the earth is turning, turning always round till morning, and from morning round till night. Round and round the earth is turning, turning always round till morning, and from morning round till night.
Thank you, Nick and Sue. We are going to pass the peace in the way that we can in this moment and in this way. So if you are online in the online pews on YouTube, post your greeting in the YouTube chat. Those of us here in the sanctuary wish you peace. Peace be with you. Peace be with all who gather here to bring you this service. Peace be with you. Thank you all so much. Let us take this moment to wish each other peace. We'll begin our service by lighting our chalice, the symbol of Unitarian Universalism, a symbol of courage, something that we all need a lot of right now. And we do so with the words of Bell Hooks, the great feminist thinker who died this past week and whose words burrow into our hearts, especially in this moment. Let us speak these words together as Platt lights the chalice. Many of us seek community solely to escape the fear of being alone. Knowing how to be solitary is central to the art of loving. Amen. And we light our candle of peace. In this moment of pivot, we light the candle of peace in honor of all of the souls, both within our congregation and beyond in the wider world, who are in need of courage and of peace in this new wave of isolation and quiet. We light this for the good of all and peace on earth. Thank you, Platt. Tonight is a series of readings, all having to do with the solstice, and our first reading will be offered by Platt.
As is our custom, I will be reading this poem through twice. Foreshadowment. Here, here, in the crook of the year, the crux and fix and flux of the year, light falls long across and dear. Here in the ruck and dreck of the year, we glean and gather grace and gear. Here, here in the crook of the year. Here is the neck bone of the year, its knuckle sharp, its blade sheer, where light falls long across and dear. Here the matins of the year, the chant of praise and marrow fear, here, here in the crook of the year. Cheer the vespers of the year, the prayers that rise from tongue to ear as light falls long across and dear. Clear your mind as night draws near. Stead your heart and shed no tear. Here, here in the crook of the year where light falls long across and dear. Here, here in the crook of the year, the crux and fix and flux of the year, light falls long across and dear. Here in the ruck and dreck of the year, we glean and gather grace and gear. Here, here in the crook of the year. Here is the neck bone of the year, its knuckle sharp, its blade sheer, where light falls long across and dear. Hear the matins of the year, the chant of praise and marrow fear. Here, here in the crook of the year. Cheer the vespers of the year, the prayers that rise from tongue to ear as light falls long across and dear. Clear your mind as night draws near. Stead your heart and shed no tear. Here, here in the crook of the year where light falls long across and dear.
Deep, deep, deep into the heart of the winter. Deep, deep, deep into the womb of the mother. Deep, deep, deep where there is no other song but the song of my soul. Deep, deep, deep into the heart of the winter. Deep, deep, deep into the soul of the mother. Deep, deep, deep where there is no other song but the song of my soul. Deep, deep, deep into the heart of the winter. Deep, deep, deep into the womb of the mother. Deep, deep, deep where there is no other song but the song of my soul.
And now a story. It was the middle of winter, and the sun had grown very old. All year long, the sun had worked very hard, rising and setting day after day. All year long, the sun had fed everybody on earth, shining and shining, giving energy to the trees and the flowers and the grasses so they could grow and feed the animals and the birds and the insects and the people. All year, the sun's gravity held tight to the spinning ball of the earth and the twirling ball of the moon and the 8 other whirling planets as they traveled around and around and around until the poor sun was dizzy watching it all. Now, the poor sun could barely make it up in the morning, and after a very short time needed to sleep again. So the days grew shorter, and the nights grew longer, until the day was so short it was hardly worth getting up for. Night felt sorry for the sun. "Come to my arms and rest, child," she said. "After all, I am your mother. You were born out of my darkness billions of years ago, and you will return to me when all things end. Let me cradle you now as I shelter every galaxy and star everywhere." So night wrapped her great arms around the sun, and the night was very long indeed. "Why does the night, the dark, go on so long?" asked the children all over the earth. "Won't the sun ever come back again?" "Well, the sun is very tired," the old ones said. "But maybe if you children say thank you for all the things the sun does for us, the light may return in the morning." The children sang songs to the sun. They thought about all the things the sun gave them and said, "Thank you. Thank you for growing the lettuces and the corn and the rice and the wheat. Thank you for growing the trees of the forests and the seaweed in the oceans and the krill that feeds the whales. Thank you for stirring the air and making winds that bring the rain." Every time a child said thank you, the sun began to feel a little warmer, a little brighter. Wrapped safely in the arms of the night, the sun grew younger and younger. At last, the children had to go to bed. "We will stay up and wait for the sun to rise again," the old ones said. "Can't we stay up too?" the children asked. "You can try, but you will get too sleepy," the old ones said. "But you can each light a candle, because all fire is a spark of the sun's fire. Put your candle in a very safe place and let it keep vigil for you as you sleep and as you dream of sunrise." So the children lit their candles and put them in very safe places, and each flame was a little spark of the sun's fire. And the sun peeped out from between the arms of the night and saw all the little fires and began to feel warmer and brighter and younger still. Early in the morning, the old ones woke the children, and together they climbed a high hill and they faced to the east, the direction of the sunrise. They sang songs to the sun and ran around trying to keep warm. They waited and waited to see what dawn would bring. The sky began to turn from black to indigo to blue, and slowly the sky grew light. A golden glow crept over the horizon. Night opened her great arms, and in a burst of brightness, the sun appeared new and strong and shining. For in the long night, the sun had rested well and grown young from the songs and the thanks of the children, young and as brand as a new baby, born out of night once more. Everybody cheered and the children jumped up and down. "The sun has returned. The sun is reborn," the people cried. And they danced and they sang to celebrate the birth of a new day. So ends the story.
Though my soul may set in darkness, it will rise in perfect light. I have loved the stars too fondly to be fearful of the night, fearful of the night. Though my soul may set in darkness, it will rise in perfect light. I have loved the stars so fondly to be fearful of the night, fearful of the night. Though my soul may set in darkness, it will rise in perfect light. I have loved the stars too fondly to be fearful of the night, fearful of the night. My soul may set in darkness, it will rise in perfect light. I have loved the stars too fondly to be fearful of the night, fearful of the night.
We are going to flip the order of service because I don't have the readings that I need right now. So we're going to go to the Vivaldi, yep. And I thank you for your flexibility, Bill and Jesse, and I will be right back. It's beautiful. So in preparing for this service, I learned about a Persian celebration of the solstice called Yalda. And it caught my attention, honestly, first because I saw a recipe in the New York Times cooking app for pomegranate chicken. And it led me down this lovely learning rabbit hole about Yalda. And you are all seeing the way that the table is set and the feast that is put before families and friends that gather on December 21st to celebrate the solstice. It's summer there now, so you see watermelon and pomegranates both figure prominently in the feast. And it is a celebration of the sun's return, as in every solstice celebration, and it is a celebration of family and friends gathering up. And there is another tradition that I thought was particularly beautiful, and that is the reading of the poet Hafiz, who was Persian and lived in the 16th century. And what families and friends do is they take books of Hafiz and they let them fall open where they will. And whatever poem is there for the reading somehow hints at what the future may hold for that individual. So we don't have books of Hafiz to do that very thing, but I am going to share two poems by the great Persian poet. The first is with that moon language, and the second, the sun never says. And I will read them both twice. Admit something. Everyone you see, you say to them, "Love me." Of course, you do not do this out loud, otherwise someone would call the cops. Still, though, think about this great pull in us to connect. Why not become the one who lives with a full moon in each eye that is always saying, with that sweet moon language, what every other eye in this world is dying to hear? Admit something. Everyone you see, you say to them, "Love me." Of course, you do not do this out loud, otherwise someone would call the cops. Still, though, think about this great pull in us to connect. Why not become the one who lives with a full moon in each eye that is always saying with that sweet moon language what every other eye in this world is dying to hear? So ends the first poem. And the second, the sun never says. The sun never says, even after all this time, the sun never says to the earth, "You owe me." Look what happens with a love like that. It lights the whole world. Even after all this time, the sun never says to the earth, "You owe me." Look what happens with a love like that. It lights the whole world. So ends the reading. May we hold the Iranian people in our hearts as they celebrate Yalda. Platt, we're going to go right to the shortest day.
So the shortest day came, and the year died. And everywhere, Down the centuries of the snow-white world came people singing, dancing to drive the dark away. They lighted candles in the winter trees. They hung their homes with evergreen. They burned beseeching fires all night long to keep the year alive. And when the New Year's sunshine blazed awake, they shouted, reveling. Through all the frosty ages, you can hear them echoing behind us. Listen. All the long echoes sing the same delight this shortest day as promise wakens in the sleeping land. They carol, feast, give thanks, and dearly love their friends and hope for peace. And so do we, here, now, this year and every year. Welcome Yule! Welcome Yule!
We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. You hear us sing, you hear us cry, now hear us call you. Spirits of air and sky, we are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. Inside our hearts there glows a spark, love and desire, a burning fire. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. Within our blood, within our tears, there lies the altar of living water. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. Take our fear, take our pain, take the darkness unto the earth again. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. The circle closes between two worlds to mark this sacred space where we come face to face. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. We are a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending.
Please join me in a spirit of prayer and meditation. Spirit of life and of love, Spirit of the dark and the coming light. Like seeds under the earth, we take nourishment from the dark. It is time for our long winter's nap when ideas and dreams and passions lie in wait. In anticipation, we are readying for the light. We wait, and soon enough, we will bloom. Spirit of the dark and coming light, Spirit of the longest night, greeted by the hopeful day, grant us the patience to rest beneath the gaze of the stars. Grant us the strength to trust that all manner of things will be well, even in these challenging times. And in the beauty of this blessed night, let us channel the power to soothe our minds and hearts in the solstice solitude and quiet. We say, blessed be. Blessed be. I invite you to join your voices in singing This Little Light of Mine.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Building up a world, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Every world of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
I hear you all, and I remember you all in this sanctuary singing that song year after year, service after service, in times of greatest need, and this is one of those times. Let us extinguish our chalice with these words. Our service has ended, but our work is not yet done. May our spirits be renewed and our purpose resolved as we meet the challenges of the week. Our chalice flame is extinguished until once again ignited by the strength of our communion. I invite you at home to put your hand on your heart and reach out to the community beyond. This is a time, my friends, where we need strength and courage to move us through this long, long night. Here, in the ruck and the dreck of the year, we glean and gather grace and gear. Here, in the crook of the year, we are reminded of the strength of our communion and the strength and the beauty of the solstice celebration. Merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. Go in peace. Amen. Bill will play our beautiful postlude, and then I have a couple of things for you to hear, so don't go away. Thank you, Bill. I could hear the choir singing, right? Can't you? Oh, you really can. Thank you. We'll be together again. So a couple things for you to know, for all of us to remember. We are always grateful for the congregation's continued generosity that keeping our ministry strong through this time. So thank you for that. I want to give you a heads up. The Christmas Eve offering is always for the minister's discretionary fund. That's on Christmas Eve, so be prepared for that. I will tell you that there has never been so much money in that fund as there has been through this pandemic. And it has allowed us as a congregation to support individuals who are in need and organizations that are in need of additional support in order to do the good work that they are doing. So thank you for that. That's on the 24th on Christmas Eve. The service on Christmas Eve, that's this Friday night, is at 6 o'clock. We will be live streaming as we did this evening, so you'll use the same link to the YouTube channel. And then on the 26th, that's Sunday, again at 4:30, there will be a musical Vesper service that Bill has generously been organizing and curating. He will be joined by Becky Noreen and Jonathan Town and Tammy Barber for that evening, so I hope that you will join and support them and enjoy a day after Christmas of relaxation and beauty of music. Thank you for that. The program for the 26th will be sent in this week's weekly news, so you'll be able to click on a link and get to the program, and then you'll have it with you the night of the music vespers themselves. The office will be closed on the 27th, that's Monday, and I think that is everything. Thank you for joining in the online pews and for being with us this evening. Go in peace, everyone. And a Zoom coffee hour, very important. We're having a Zoom coffee hour right now. I think Susan has been putting the link in the chat, in the YouTube chat, so just click on that and we will see you momentarily. Thanks for being here.